What's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to go over if we're all screwed being involved in crypto. So I keep getting the question, when is this bear market going to be over? Are we all screwed? Are we going to lose all our money? And I'm just thinking to myself, like, geez, take a chill pill. Everything's going to be fine. And I guess my reasoning is based more on fundamentals. And so I'm going to go into TradingView and kind of give you guys my technical analysis and the reasons why I think this market actually looks healthy and it looks bullish to me, at least in the future, right? It's going to be bullish on the horizon. And everybody is just talking on the internet saying, oh yeah, it's going to be bullish in February, but no one has any reasoning to back that up. So I'm going to give you guys my best guess and my best analysis on the Bitcoin chart. But first, we're going to just get into this. And, we're sitting at 520 billion on the market cap. So yesterday at about this time, we were sitting at like 480, 490 billion. So yeah, you're seeing some green, but it's a little bit misleading. But, this is a good sign, I guess. I don't necessarily think this is going to skyrocket up in the next few days. I think we're still going to see some downward trend and lower volumes. And I think I'll explain why. But the reason I think everybody should take a chill pill on the whole fact that crypto's dying and all the news articles coming out is because there's two things we need to look at in this situation. And you're going to be able to decipher this in a couple different ways. But this is what I think this looks like. So this right here is our uptrend, our bullish trend that we had in, what was this, November all the way into December. And then we have our downward sort of channel, right? These are our two trend lines here. And obviously, Bitcoin has been just on this tear, and we've just been seeing a ton of selling pressure. As soon as it hits this upper trend line, or even before it, we're just seeing massive dump offs. And my original thought was this is because of a lot of the Bitcoin futures, and they were all buying up here, the futures at 20,000. And my opinion on that was, okay, well then they're obviously going to drive the price down so that way they can meet their futures contracts and make money hand over fist. And I think that's what they did. But then we kind of stepped into sort of a different market cycle. And basically we're just seeing a bunch of selling pressure. And what's happening in this situation is these buyers and sellers, they're getting squeezed into this channel. And this is really important. Oops, I didn't mean to draw that. But this is really important because what this looks like to me is a bull flag. And what that is, you can look that up on Google or whatever if you don't know what that is. But basically, you'll see this sort of, this would be like the cloth portion of the flag, and this would be your flagpole. And more or less, you get squeezed into this sort of channel, and it tends to break out, right? And there's another way you can look at this. You can look at this as like a descending wedge, depending on the time frame that you're looking at with the candlesticks. We're on the 2-hour candlestick. Generally, I don't use the 2-hour one, but you can look at it this way too, as a descending wedge. And what happens in these situations is you'll see volume just decreasing, right? And that's a good sign. That confirms our descending wedge or our bull flag. And basically what's happening is these sellers are coming in and they're just putting lots of pressure on the market, and they're just selling, big sell-offs. And then some buyers come in, then sell off. And then buyers come back in, sell off. But they're getting squeezed into this region, if you can see that, right? Like obviously it's not going out of bounds here or here. And that's good. And with that, you'll generally see descending volume, which is what we're seeing here. And that's a good sign. Because if you're seeing increased volume, then this theory wouldn't necessarily be true. So all good signs. I think we're going to continue to see this descending pattern inside of this descending wedge or the bull flag. And I think we will tend to see a breakout once we get down here. And one thing that I wanted to note is let me see, which one do I want to use for this? I guess we can use this one. So there is something called a bullwhick. And when we do get into this region, so this would be on like February February 15th, we would hit 7,677. I don't necessarily think that's as low as we're going to go. I think we're going to end up more around 8,000 range. But what can happen is what this is doing, what this pattern does is it weeds out the weak hands. And that's a really good thing. Because the sellers don't have all of the power in this situation, especially when the volume is decreasing. Sellers tend to lose power when volume decreases because there's less buyers, right? And so there's going to be a point where it's not profitable for them to be short selling or, just basically selling in general, right? And it becomes more profitable to start buying. And there's a massive trend line here. And I wanted to draw this Fibonacci. If we go back, let me do 1 day here. This will be easier. So if we go back to the beginning of 2017, I can draw this. This is annoying. Okay, so 2017, let me draw this for you real quick. Let me put that down. Okay, so generally speaking, traders look at this 0.618 fib ratio, fib line right here, and they're using that as like the golden ratio. And I've heard that in many different trading courses, and I've heard this all around. You can hear other YouTubers talk about this, but this is something important to recognize. So what I'll do is I'll draw a trend line at here, and this is at about 8,100 or so. And so if you see this, if we're going to zoom in here on this descending wedge, what can happen when we hit here is the last remaining weak hands will inevitably dump their load right here, right? And we're going to have to be aware of that, because you might say, oh no, like we hit this date on February 8th and we hit 8,100 and all of a sudden it dropped below, it broke the support line. Well, that's generally okay, because it's called a bullwhick, and basically all of the weak hands just end up losing, and they just sell all their shares or their Bitcoin, and then all of a sudden the bulls come in because they realize that the support line is there. There's more buyers than sellers, and you'll see a pretty immediate rebound. And so all this is good news. What I want to sort of make very clear is we're going to know for sure if this is happening if we're watching this volume pattern. If the volume pattern gets lower and lower, as we're seeing it happen right now, and you're seeing this massive sell volume, and this is all corresponding to our chart here. So to me, if I'm looking to buy this market, I'm looking in this region, obviously, and a lot of other people are looking in this region too, I'm sure of it. But yeah, I mean, to me, this is a bullish pattern. You're going to see something like this. And it's stupid to say like this is for sure going to happen. And I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a professional trader or anything, but this is just my opinion. And, like I look at this as a bullish sign, and I can even go back and do where am I at? We can do an Elliot wave, and I'll start like in here. We have our 3, 4, and then we have our 5. And that's one wave, like the overall wave. And then we can look at this, and we can even say there's another one here where you're looking at the 3 wave right now. And then maybe we're going to hit this, at this point, we're going to hit the end of the 4 wave. And then we'll be launching up with the 5 wave somewhere in this region. And this is just one of my opinions. Like, I don't know how high this is going to go. This is something that's very difficult to judge. But generally in crypto, the 5 wave is large, right? And we've already sort of had a 5 wave here, which is fine. But we could be at the top of a 3 wave in an underlying, sub cycle. And so this is something just to be aware of, that we may be at the most opportune time to buy. And that's at that same fib level, which is the 0.618. And I'm looking to buy in this region. Now, do whatever you want and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What do you think of this analysis? Is it wrong? Like, what do you guys think? Because this is my outlook. I'm very bullish on crypto for 2018. I think this is a necessary market correction, and I think this is really good. It's getting the people out of crypto who can't hold on and who don't know what they're doing. This is really weeding out the people who aren't willing to do the research, and this is really important. This is investing, right? Like, you are putting your own hard-earned dollars, and you have to be accountable for your actions in anything that you're putting your own money into, right? So I think this is a really good thing. Like, you wouldn't see all of this paranoia. I guess you can see this in the stock market, but, you know, I don't know. I think it's a good thing. And I think corrections are generally a good thing, especially if you're educated and you're aware on how to play these market cycles. So with that said, if you like this content, please subscribe to the channel and leave a thumbs up on the video if you liked it, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.